This is the Goblin Reaper from Vredensdal, and you're watching Metal DNA. Today I wanted to talk about one of the biggest impacts on my musical journey, and that is the one and only King Diamond. King Diamond originally, Kim Bendix Peterson, is from Denmark, southernmost Scandinavian country. And interesting thing about being from Denmark is that I would say, in my opinion, King Diamond is probably the most influential rock and roll or heavy metal artist to come from that country. Absolutely by far. I think it's interesting, especially for the time frame, considering what was going on in music in those areas at the time, and he sort of came out of nowhere, dark and mysterious character, So going to the beginning, early 80s, I'm pretty sure I could say that King Diamond and the Mercyful Fate group that created this evil masterpiece, Melissa, were most likely inspired by new wave of British heavy metal, Black Sabbath, those of 70s progressive rock like Uriah Heep and Wishbone Ash, all of which are also my favorites that inspired me growing up as a kid. One thing that I find really interesting about King Diamond's approach to metal sound and imagery is the storytelling, being able to capture your imagination and take you somewhere else. At the time, a lot of music was more so to help with struggling emotions, and while singing songs about our feelings directly is useful in its own way, being able to take somebody away from their current life and situation by means of storytelling, energy, and just understanding the depths of the human mind is one thing completely different and totally just mesmerizing. His particular style of the band in the beginning, Mercyful Fate, was grouped into what a lot of us know in the underground and extreme metal world as the first wave of black metal, fitting in there with the likes of Sodom and Celtic Frost in the early days. But why was he grouped into this set of dark extreme metalists, even though his sound wasn't quite as heavy as the others? Well, that's because of the mentality behind the music. The truth behind black metal music is really a mental space. It has less to do with the imagery and more to do with connecting with the most shadowed aspect of oneself. At the time, nobody really spoke positively about Satanism or took it to a personal level like King Diamond did with Mercyful Fate. He expanded upon that with the later King Diamond band creating concept albums. Those concept albums, I believe, were most likely the first of its kind. I think what's interesting about the concept album that King Diamond put together with the story of Jonathan LaFay and Missy the Witch was tying in the satanic philosophy into the story. matched with the artistry of the horror movie genre. And I think that what makes King Diamond special is the fact that he's able to take his own personal experiences and express them emotionally through storytelling and pure energy, pure metal, no frills, just straight for the throat. And that is very inspiring. What's even more inspiring is how he's able to maintain his self. A lot of bands these days have trouble finding exactly who they want to be and why, but from the get-go, he knew who he was, and he was able to maintain that, express that. Because what can you call art without directly connecting a piece of your truest form? You can't. And that's why King Diamond is my most inspiring metal artist. Good evening. It is I, the Goblin Reaper, from Vredensdal. I'm here representing the new wave of USBM, United States Black Metal. What does Vredensdal represent? A lot of people ask me, why do you wear a mask? They don't seem to understand the missing aspect. The truest aspect of the music, really. And that is the intent. I really don't care what you look like. I really don't care what you believe in. The point is to create the truest mental place, the truest understanding of our shadow inside, the one that we know is there but can't control. I call it the tyrant's shade. You see, I don't need to flaunt any sort of imagery. I don't have to express how evil I am in my pictures or in my face. I do it with my actions in the music that I create. You see, American black metal has been lacking for the last 20 plus years. Okay, sure, there's been a good handful of bands out there, but you know what the problem is? I just don't feel like even those bands really grasp the truth in the movement. America in general is lacking tradition. Its history is based on thieves and murderers. We grow up in this chaos and are unable to really express our pride and individuality because all we're doing is daisy chaining our thoughts off of other cultures that we don't really know about. The point is, it's time for a change. It's time to bring that true essence back, the energy that we've been missing. And why me? Why should I usher in the new wave? Well, I don't see anybody else doing it. There's no one else out there sticking their neck on the blade. And I really believe that with or without a mask, you can't copy the energy. So whether you agree with me or not, I still see you in hell. Vredensdal's debut album, Fealty of Diabolism, was originally released by Black Morning Productions in 2019. You can find the YouTube upload on Black Metal Promotion. This year in 2020, we released The Tyrant Shade with Gems label. That got me signed with Screaming Skull Records in Oslo, Norway, who then produced a cassette tape version as well as repressed it on a very fine looking digipack. These CDs and cassette tapes are available all over the world, in Norway, Germany, Canada, and in my shop here in Wisconsin. Go to our Bandcamp page or look up our music on Spotify, iTunes, or YouTube. I appreciate the time you've taken with me, and I hope to see you soon.